Okay, welcome everybody to Fantasy Cup Great League Edition. Without further ado, let's get this show on the road. I'm using Berserker, Bastiodon, and Registeel. So my thought process is I'm seeing a lot of Galarian Stunfisk. I mean, as you can see right here, they immediately bring out a Galarian Stunfisk. So I want a Pokemon that's going to be able to hit it for super effective damage. And that Pokemon is not Berserker, that's for sure. I was using a Alolan Vulpix, Ninetales that you saw in the videos earlier yesterday, but it just wasn't doing enough. None of its type matchups were really helping me that much, and it's still weak to those steel type moves. That is the majority of this Fantasy Cup. Ooh, and see, Stunfisk with that Earth move is exactly my problem with having these steel type Pokemon here. It's just way too much of a liability to keep trying to dodge around these Stunfisk's Earth type moves. So I really need to figure out something with that. Maybe some sort of steel water type or fairy water type. But I just don't think that water is going to do super effective damage against it. It is a ground steel type, but that steel might give it a resistance that I'm not too sure about. But actually, I think water is still 2 times effective. So maybe we'll use Primarina next time, because I think I have one that I'll be able to use for this cup. That's 1500. We're just gonna let... Oh, it used Rock Slide thinking that we were gonna use up that second shield, I remember. And we're able to save that shield, get one hit off more with Berserker, and just get absolutely demolished by this Escavalier here. I don't know whether or not Lock On really does something significant. I see people that go to Worlds and stuff like that use Lock On when they use Registeel, so it must fill it up faster. I'm a little bit scared to try, but Focus Blast does fill up pretty quickly. More quickly than any other move that I don't that is super big like that does that much damage. So Lock On might actually be the move, but sadly that Escavalier was just way too strong for us. It's another good thing to have. I'm sure it learned some sort of fighting move or something, but that steel and that bug typing probably helps out a lot. Okay, we're on to our second battle here now, and I'm feeling kind of weary. This is the third group of 5 that I did during this recording night. You saw the first attempt yesterday, but one of the recordings failed, and then all of the recordings for the second grouping of this recording failed. So this is the third time here on the third 5 in a row matches that we're doing, but I think this is the best that I've done here with these 3 Pokemon. I get so lazy with trying to get all of those type bubbles there to be able to do the maximum amount of damage. I missed 2 on that there. Not that it would have killed it, but it would have been a little bit lower health, which is always going to help out. So I don't want to be like have overkill and just be like swiping like a madman, but I do need to concentrate more on making sure I get everything. Am I even going to be able to get this? Fighting is one of the hardest to know if I get all of them on. I got an excellent, but I wonder if I got an excellent for that grass move that I learned. Luckily we're able to take out Azumarill, but it might have been good to have that shield gone. At least one of those shields gone. We're switching to Tortonator. That's exactly what I'm talking about. A dragon fire type is going to be perfect against all of these steel types, because what are they gonna have? They're gonna have to bring a fairy type. So Primarina might be the best thing, but it's so exclusive to just, I guess, 2 Pokemon, Tortonator, and hopefully it does enough damage to Stunfisk to get it out of there as quickly as possible, but maybe not. We'll have to try. This knowing an Earth type move is devastating. I'm sure it's going to use Earthquake. Oh yeah, that's right, it had Meteor Mash. I don't know how much damage that would have done, but I probably wouldn't have been able to be doing as much damage as I am now if I didn't shield that Meteor Mash. I don't think I'd die from this, and I think we're going to be able to kill this Pokemon. Yeah, oh, see, if I hadn't blocked, then I would have had to block then, and then, you know, what's the point at that point? He might have even gotten me with the chip damage there. We're able to use up the shield, but because it has that other shield and I have no shields left, I'm just dying instantly. Incinerate, is that what it's gonna use? Flamethrower just instantly takes out my mono steel type Pokemon, Registeel. That's okay. 2 L's in a row. We're not doing that good so far, but it's all in practice here. It'll work out eventually. We're on to our 3rd match now, and it's really making me want to grab my phone and put Primarina on there and just start battling, because I'm disappointed in myself. I was able to go up the ranks pretty significantly for as much as I played in the Great League Remix Cup, and I thought I was going to do really well in this, but not having that Galarian Stunfisk and having not used something that does really well against the Galarian Stunfisk is really hurting me. I switch out and get rid of Bastiodon to see if I can do something with my own Dragon Flying type. The Flying type to not be very effective against the Ground type moves, which does come in handy, but not when it also knows Rock Slide. So Rock Slide is just absolutely devastating to my Flying type Dragonite here, and the superpower move that he has just isn't good enough to take out any of these Steel type Pokemon. It gets wasted on Clefable there. I wish I could have switched out earlier, but you know, that's the name of the game here. Hopefully Berserker is going to be able to get a bunch of attack buffs and be able to use Iron Head against it. Trailblaze does a good amount of damage already, so just using another Trailblaze would immediately kill this Clefable. I am worried about what it could have, so I do shield. It has Psychic, probably still would have done a significant amount of damage. I do actually use Iron Head here, which was definitely a mistake. I should have just killed it and then used this on the next one, and then it would have had another shield down, but my mistake for clicking too quickly. Sometimes, you know, in the midst of battle, I definitely make the wrong decision. Here we're going to get our attack up again, and they definitely block, but it's not enough to be able to get another Trailblaze. Do we protect here? I doubt it. Yeah, no protection here. It's not worth it to us to try to get that second Trailblaze off. I don't think it was going to kill it, but maybe it actually would have, and we would have had a Registeel come out against their last Pokemon instead of having a damaged Registeel come out against their last Pokemon. They probably also would have shielded too, because they have an extra shield. They're shielding now, or maybe they don't and they're gonna save that shield for the next person. Nope, they do shield now, but we shield ours. I don't think he might not use Earthquake. Yeah, Muddy Water, what a waste of a shield. It still would have done a big amount of damage, but now he's just gonna quickly get rid of me with an Earthquake. It could use Muddy Water again. Okay. Yeah, this is when I get a little sense of hope here, but I'm not able to get off that Focus Blast quick enough before it's going to deal another small amount of chip damage with Muddy Water. Maybe I probably I should have used that shield on Berserker. It would have gotten Stunfisk out of the way a lot quicker, but I don't think that Registeel would be able to do much against this Haxorus anyway. Who would have known? I do think Haxorus is a great idea in this cup, but it's nice to have something that isn't going to be weak against that big fairy type that comes out sometimes, because that Clefable is pretty dangerous. Here we are on our fourth fight. We're still using Dragonite. We're probably gonna have Dragonite for the rest of the time here. You know, you wanna be able to use it a couple of times. Not every fight you're gonna win, but it's nice to try to test the waters with the Pokemon. This is not something you want to see with your Haxorus, that is for sure. Your Haxorus is not only going to do nothing with its fighting type move, but it's also going to take on all that fairy type damage. And unless you're running a really specific set on your fairy type Pokemon, then you most likely have a fairy type move on here. Especially when, oh my gosh, Crunch did so much damage, but especially when there are dragon types here. Now they bring out a Sylveon, which we just have to get Berserker out of there right away. We have no other option. Maybe if we still had Bastiodon, I would have gone into Bastiodon, but Registeel is the only option to keep Berserker in those energies for its charged moves there. And we're just going to have to take the L on any damage we get on this Registeel here. We're able to get off one Focus Blast, but they still have both of their shields, so don't really know how much it's going to end up mattering. Oh, they just have one of their shields, but they don't block it. Are we going to be able to get another Focus Blast off? Yes, we are, before they use Draining Kiss. I think they know they're going to live this attack. Look, I only got a Great on there, but it did block, so didn't really matter. I think we're going to get Draining Kiss to death here, and Registeel probably isn't going to be able to get another Focus Blast off. Yep, probably if we were tapping more quickly on the Focus Blast itself, we would have been able to get it off. But we had to use our last shield there, and see, look, they were just one turn ahead of us on their charged move. It most likely would have been possible. Now, see, look, Stunfisk is just out and able to do so much damage. This is the pair-up that I'm hoping to be able to beat Stunfisk with. That Dragon type move to do pretty consistent chip neutral damage. And I think I want to bring up 2 superpowers at a time, but I just keep making the mistake of guessing wrong with this rock type move that all these Stunfisk have. Dragonite is just not a good matchup for these Stunfisk, when they could have the ground type move to deal with the steel type Pokemon, but then also that rock type move to deal with a Dragonite and using superpower. Definitely being preyed upon. Now this Granbull here is going to crunch Dragonite away unless it has some sort of fairy type move. Nope, it just has the crunch. I don't know how useful crunch is in this cup. I guess it's dealing neutral damage to a lot of stuff, and maybe super effective against fairy. I can never remember. I'm still trying to figure out fairy. The Granbull goes down, and with 2 Pokemon in the very low red, we're able to win that 4th match. Get up to 489 wins in total, and we finally get our first win of this little group here. It feels good. We're switching up, back in, we're feeling good about ourselves. Battle number 5. This is where we get all the rewards at the end. This is where we go up just a little bit. Ooh, this level 10 up against us level 12. I don't know what that ranking system means, if it's just random, you know, you kind of fight within 2 levels of yourself. But this guy could be coming up pretty quickly, and that's why he's fighting me now at a level 12. This is the first time I've seen Galarian Rapidash used, but that's definitely a fantasy Pokemon if I've ever seen a fantasy Pokemon for Fantasy League before. It can have really good moves, quickly charging body slams, psychic moves, fairy type moves for those dragon types. You can probably learn, I don't know, like Mega Horn or something, if that's useful at all. I'm not really sure. But here again, just boom with the Rock Slide. I'm hoping that it's gonna use a ground type move, and it just has a rock type move every single time Dragonite is out. So there's no reason for Dragonite to be on the team at all anymore, especially with how bad Superpower does to your attack and your defense. We absolutely waste that shield there, and we should have just let Dragonite die. Use that shield for somebody like Registeel, who's gonna have a lot of health and a lot of charge energy in that move, but is gonna die in one hit if we get some sort of earthquake from this Stunfisk. See, look, we send Registeel out next, but maybe Berserker's probably always gonna be better, but it can't tank those hits as well as anybody else can. Unless it is a Rock Slide, so maybe it just had Rock Slide, but there's absolutely no way to know, and with no shields, you kind of have to be really risky, but also play really safe. This switch in here helps me out a lot. I'm able to get off an excellent Steel type attack and just get that Rapidash out completely, quickly, 100%. We're using our Berserker up against this Galarian Stunfisk here, and hopefully Trailblaze is going to be able to push us right over the edge to kill this Stunfisk, but it maybe doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it, depending on how much damage this Muddy Water is going to do. It does a little less than half, and Stunfisk is able to die. But this is Azumarill. This is Azumarill, which is the same typing that Primarina is, but I don't have the resources to level up an Azumarill like that. It's able to take us out quickly, my poor Berserker, but maybe we could get lucky. We have a very weak Azumarill, and I have a kind of weak Registeel, but with neither shields remaining on either side, any move is going to do a considerable amount of damage. Ice Beam doesn't do that much, but Focus Blast might not do that much either, not being very effective against that fairy typing that Azumarill has. But it's able to take out the win. It's able to take out the win. That's 2 wins in a row. And the last of this 5 matches here, we're able to collect our Stardust and get ourselves a fast TM, rank up almost to rank 13. Next time you see this, we'll be on the road to rank 13.